I'm going to ruin my dinner. On medium heat, add 1 cup of milk and 3 ounces of bittersweet chocolate. In a separate bowl, add half cup of milk, 1/4 cup of flour, and 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Add half a cup of sugar to each bowl and whisk in 3 eggs. While my chocolate milk warms up, I'm going to whisk until the sugar and chocolate are melted. The sugar, milk, and flour will help incorporate your eggs into the hot mixture without scrambling. Return all this to medium heat and stir constantly until thickened, about 5 minutes. Remove from heat and add 2 tablespoons of butter, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, and whisk until combined. Add pie filling to a pre-baked and cooled pie shell and allow pie to cool completely. Add whipped cream to top a pie and garnish with some grated chocolate bar of your choice. Coconut flavor is insane. Feels so good. Saltiness in the pie crust, the creaminess of the custard. Good stuff. So with this pie, I'm going to start out with a full can, which is 15 ounces of cream of coconut. I'm using Coco Lopez. So I've given it a good shake, and I'm going to put it in my pan. Now I'm going to turn my heat on to medium-low right now. To my 15 ounces of cream of coconut, I'm going to add 1 can of evaporated milk. I've got 4 tablespoons of cornstarch and 1 tablespoon of flour that I'm going to add to my mixture here. That, of course, is the thickener. Whisk this until it starts to thicken. At this point, I'm going to move up to medium. You can also do this in a double boiler if you're more comfortable with that. A lot of your coconut cream pies, the only coconut flavor you're getting is from the coconut. With this particular pie, you're getting a lot of coconut flavor with your cream of coconut. So no sugar added to this. The only sweetener is what's already in the cream of coconut, and of course, what's in the coconut itself. Okay, now that things are starting to thicken a little bit, I'm going to add my egg yolks. That's 3 egg yolks. I'm going to do this one at a time, mixing vigorously. 3 tablespoons of butter, and 1 cup of flaked coconut, and about a half a teaspoon to a teaspoon of vanilla extract. So how thick that is? It'll continue to thicken as it cools. So I'm going to turn off my heat. Okay, I'm going to grab my prepared pie shell. I blind bake a pie shell. I'm going to add my coconut cream to the pie shell. I'm going to let it come to room temperature, and I'm going to top it with whipped cream and toasted coconut. So my pie has been in the fridge for a few hours, so it's nice and cold. Time to make some whipped cream topping. So 2 cups of heavy whipping cream. I'm going to use my whisk attachment here. If you've got the big muscles, you can do this by hand. So I'll use the machine. 3 tablespoons of powdered sugar, 1 teaspoonish of vanilla extract. I'm going to set this on high and let it blend. Last but certainly not least, some of the coconut I had earlier, I put in the oven at 350 for about 7 minutes and made it nice and toasty. That's going to be my topping. Pumpkin pie cheesecake. Super creamy, excellent pumpkin pie. It's not just pumpkin pie spices. It's a literal pumpkin pie and a cheesecake mashed together in delicious goodness. Good stuff. And give it a little non-stick spray. I don't have to give too much because this pan is already non-stick. And I'm going to use something a little bit different. Instead of graham cracker crust, I'm going to use Biscoff. These really crispy cookies, they've got a rich molasses, ginger, all the spices that we're going to have in our pie. So I think it's going to go great. Give this a good mix. Then I'm going to press this into my springform pan. Spread that out a little bit. Let me use a measuring cup here to just kind of press it in. Just like that. There's a piece of cookie here and there. It's okay. Get all the good stuff off. For my filling, I'm going to use 3 8-ounce packages of cream cheese. Make sure your ingredients are room temperature. If not, your cream cheese will clump up. You want it to be nice and smooth. Okay, I'm going to start mixing that and get it nice and... I'm going to add in 1.5 cups of sugar. Then I'm going to let that come together. Okay, I'm going to scrape down the sides. So I'm going to add 1 can of pumpkin puree, 2 tablespoons of cornstarch, 1 teaspoon of clove, 2 teaspoons of ground cinnamon, 1/2 teaspoon of ground ginger, a teaspoonish of good vanilla extract. It already smells fantastic. 2 whole eggs, 2 egg yolks. Now that that's incorporated, I'm going to add 1/2 cup of heavy cream. Let's scrape this down. I'm going to scrape off the spatula because I want all that goodness in this cheesecake. That's it. Let's make this cheesecake. This is going to go into a preheated 350-degree oven, 45 minutes, and then I'm going to turn the oven off and let it set for another 10 to 15 minutes. So this is a pumpkin pie cheesecake with a Biscoff cookie crust. Let's cut in. Look at the color. Y'all, that is good stuff. To start this pie off, I'm going to use 1 can, 14 ounces of sweetened condensed milk. I'm going to put it in my mixer bowl. 1/2 cup room temperature butter. I'm going to whip this up until it's light and frothy. It took about 5 minutes on high to whip that up nice and fluffy. As you can see here, it's nice and fluffy. It's changed colors and everything. To this mixture, I'm going to add 2 cups of sweet potato. I baked 3 sweet potatoes yesterday. Measured out what I needed, and I used a hand mixer, and I beat this with a tablespoon of sugar and about 2 tablespoons of orange juice. Mixed it up nice and smooth, made a puree out of it. So this goes into the bowl. That's 2 cups of pureed sweet potatoes that's been baked. Baking your sweet potato gives it a much better flavor than boiling sweet potatoes. Get some really great caramelization. I'm also going to add 1/2 teaspoon of ginger, teaspoon of cinnamon, 1/2 teaspoon of nutmeg, 1/2 teaspoon of salt. So 3 eggs lightly beaten. This is 1 teaspoon of orange zest and about a 1/2 tablespoon or 1.5 teaspoons of Grand Marnier. So that all goes into the bowl. And I'm going to mix this on medium. So it's all combined. This time of year, if you're making dozens of pies or even several pies, it's time to break out the rollout pie crust. I've got a deep dish pie plate. I've rolled it out. I've left it kind of tall because this is going to have a lot of filling in it. And when it cooks, it's going to puff up quite a bit. All right, now that this is all mixed up, I'm going to pour this into my pie shell. I'm going to put it in a 350-degree oven for 10 minutes. And then I'm going to reduce the heat to 325, and I'm going to bake for an additional 45 minutes. So 55 minutes to an hour total for this pie. I like to get all of it. I'm going to ruin my dinner. See that? That is going to be delicious. I am going to make my famous bourbon pecan pie. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my favorite pie crust recipe. This is a deep dish pie that I'm using here. This is a 9-inch pie that you're looking at. So I have already set my pie crust into my pie plate, and I'm going to add 1 cup of chopped pecans that have been toasted. I toasted these in a 350-degree oven for about 8 minutes. So I'm going to set that aside. And I'm going to make my filling. So in one of your favorite heavy-duty saucepans, we're going to add 1 cup of corn syrup. I use light corn syrup because you're going to be adding brown sugars and all that fun stuff to everything, so no need for the dark stuff at this point. So 1 cup of light syrup, 3/4 cup of brown sugar, 4 tablespoons of butter. And I'm going to bring that up to a boil. One of the reasons why I'm doing this is I'm helping the pie cook a little faster. Pecan pies are notoriously long cooking pies, and a lot of times the edges on the pie crust will overbrown. So by heating up your mixture, you're kickstarting the cooking process. I'm going to let this mixture boil, stirring occasionally. I don't want it to burn. Get the sides. I'm going to let this mixture boil for about 3 minutes. So this has been boiling for 3 minutes. I'm going to turn off the heat and I'm going to set it aside and let this start to cool. While my syrup mixture cools, I'm going to prepare the other part of the pie filling. I've got 3 eggs and 3 egg yolks. To that mixture, I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of water, 2 tablespoons of bourbon, and 1 tablespoon of vanilla extract. I want to add that to the cornstarch mixture and create a slurry. If you don't want bourbon pecan pie, simply leave out the bourbon. If you are a bourbon fan or you like the richness that the bourbon will add to it, go with the cheap stuff. There's no reason to add Pappy to this. I've made dozens and dozens of these pecan pies, and I've tried all kinds of different bourbons. And what I found out is the flavor profile of bourbon is what you want. You don't need the extra oakiness. You don't need it to have, hints of tobacco and all the things that bourbon can afford. You want brown sugars and vanillas and bourbon. Go with the Jim Beam. That's the classic flavor profile that you're looking for. I'm going to add this slurry to my eggs and I'm going to whisk them up together. Wow, it smells so good. Now, the fun part, and this can be a little intimidating. I'm going to temper my eggs with that hot sugar. If I were to simply pour my eggs into that hot sugar, I'm going to have hot sugar and scrambled eggs. Maybe I'll try that for breakfast. But for pecan pie, that's not what I want. I want it to be nice and smooth. So I'm going to gently pour that hot syrup mixture on top of my eggs while I whisk my eggs. Just a little drizzle. I'm going to bring the temperature of my eggs up just so they don't scramble. Slowly. We'll just keep going. See the mixture of those eggs turn darker and darker as I add more and more of the syrup. Get all that in there. Give this a little more of a stir. My egg mixture is hot. I can feel it through the bowl. I'm going to pour this right on top of my pecans in my pie shell. This pie is going to go into a preheated 400-degree oven for about 35 minutes. Then we're going to add a praline pecan topping to it and back in the oven. Okay, my pie's got a few minutes left, and I'm going to make a topping to go on top of the pie. That's going to be pecan. Imagine that. So I'm going to start with 2 tablespoons-ish of corn syrup, 3 tablespoons of butter. That on a little heat. Half a cup of brown sugar. This is where I break out my homemade bourbon vanilla. It's just like regular vanilla extract, except that instead of using vodka or a neutral grain spirit to make your extract, I use bourbon. So I made a 1/5 of bourbon vanilla extract. I've got a 1/5 of rum vanilla extract that I use in other things. Coconut cream pie, things like that. Anything that you would use rum in a dessert. Bananas Foster, oh my God. So about a tablespoon of extract. We'll call it extract. So we'll let that come to a boil. Again, if you don't want bourbon, just use vanilla. We'll let the bourbon. It's bourbon, pecans, brown sugar. I mean, that's what it's all about. People don't even notice the bourbon's in there. If you're not a bourbon person, you're probably not going to pick up on it. You're going to just think, wow, it's a really good pie. If you're a bourbon person, you're going to taste. You're going to be. It's not a taste of bourbon. It's almost like a aftertaste of bourbon. So I've got my syrup is boiling, and I'm going to dump in a cup of pecan halves. Okay, I'm going to reduce the heat. So I got my pecan halves. I'm going to bring that up and let that come up to a boil. I'm cooking this together. My pie crust shrunk, but it's going to taste just fine. I probably didn't let the pie rest long enough. And the other thing is I hit it with pan to make sure it's nonstick. And of course, when I made that part nonstick, they didn't stick. They just bounced right back. So I'm going to take my pecan halves and this syrup, and I'm going to put it on top of my pie. I'll kind of spread it out. When people see these on the pie, they'll just automatically go and start picking one off. So it's delicious. It really is. Give that syrup on there. This pie isn't quite done yet. It needs another 10 to 15 minutes in the oven to cook the topping. Make it almost like a prelude. So I'm going to put it back in the oven. Okay, pie is out of the oven. Make this for the holidays. You'll be asked to make it every year. It's that good.